What kind of city becomes so evil that God destroys it with fire? Long ago, during the days of Abraham, there was a beautiful valley near the Jordan River. The land was rich and fertile. Green fields stretched across the plains, and rivers flowed through the valley. Cities grew strong and prosperous in this land. Among them were two powerful cities, Sodom and Gomorrah. From a distance they appeared magnificent. Tall walls protected them. Busy markets filled the streets. Travelers came from distant lands. But beneath the surface, darkness filled the hearts of the people. Violence, greed, pride, and terrible wickedness had spread through the cities. The valley looked like paradise, but it had become a place of deep corruption. Abraham and his nephew Lot had both become very wealthy. Their flocks had grown large. Their servants were many. Soon the land could no longer support both families. So Abraham offered Lot a choice. Choose whichever land you want. Lot looked toward the Jordan Valley. The land was lush and green. It looked perfect for his herds. So Lot chose the valley, and he moved closer to the city of Sodom. At first he lived outside the city, but slowly, over time, Lot moved into Sodom itself. As Lot settled in the city, he began to see what Sodom had become. The people of the city had no fear of God. Violence filled the streets. The poor were ignored. Strangers were treated with cruelty. Greed ruled the hearts of the people. Pride controlled their lives. And the cries of suffering began rising toward heaven. One day, God revealed something to Abraham. The wickedness of Sodom and Gomorrah had become too great. Their sin had reached heaven. God said he would destroy the cities. Abraham was shocked. Lot lived there. So Abraham began to plead with God. What if 50 righteous people live there? God said he would spare the city. Abraham asked again. 45, 40, 30, 20, 10. But even 10 righteous people could not be found. One evening, 2 angels arrived at the gates of Sodom. Lot was sitting there. When he saw them, he stood and bowed in respect. Lot knew strangers were not safe in this city, so he begged the visitors to stay in his home. The angels agreed. Lot prepared a meal for them. But that night would reveal just how evil the city had become. That night, the men of the city surrounded Lot's house. Young and old gathered outside. They shouted for Lot to bring the visitors outside. Their intentions were violent and evil. Lot stepped outside and begged them to stop. But the crowd became more aggressive. Then, suddenly, the angels acted. They pulled Lot safely inside and struck the mob with blindness. The angels warned Lot, "Take your family and leave this city. Hurry before destruction comes." Lot tried to warn his relatives, but they laughed at him. At dawn, the angels urged him again. Finally, they took Lot, his wife, and his daughters by the hand and led them out of the city. Then the moment came. Fire and burning sulfur rained from the sky. Flames engulfed the cities. Buildings collapsed. Smoke filled the valley. Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed. As Lot and his daughters fled the valley, they were given one command: do not look back. But Lot's wife turned to look behind her, and instantly she became a pillar of salt. The story of Sodom and Gomorrah is more than an ancient story. It is a warning. The cities were powerful, wealthy, prosperous, but their pride destroyed them. God gave them opportunities to change, but they refused. And so the question remains for every generation. When God warns us to leave behind corruption and pride, will we listen or will we look back?
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more animated Bible mysteries every week.